What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So guys, channel membership is now live. Link is in the description and the first comment. Do check it out. That would really help support the channel. So let's start this video with this 10 weeks out physique update from Justin Shire and the road to his comeback at this upcoming Tampa Pro. And the reason I'm calling this a comeback is because for those of you guys who do not know, he's coming back to the stage after almost 20 months. And the shape is coming in very nice. And just watch how drastically this entire physique changes in the coming weeks. Now people usually forget about the potential of some of these guys when they take more than 1 year off. And the fact is Justin Shire, he did not really post many off-season physique updates because Justin is one of those guys whose off-season that is kind of different from someone like Derek or Nick or Samson Dauda, because those guys, they can stay super lean even during the off-season. And Justin, on the other hand, he did his off-season the old school way. He put on a considerable amount of body fat, and now it is slowly coming off, day by day, week by week. So this is without any shadow of a doubt one of the most aesthetic physique in the entire men's open class at the moment. And some of his pictures, taken before winning Chicago Pro, which was his pro debut back in 2023, they were a solid proof of that. So Justin is making his return after a gap of almost 20 months. And whenever any IFBB pro, they take such a long break from competing, away from the stage, it's to put on a lot of muscle, a lot of mass, especially in the lagging body parts, to bring those up, which in Justin's case is his back. And there is a high likelihood that his back is gonna be improved. And I'm gonna say a lot improved. We have to keep in mind, there hasn't been a lot of time since Justin dedicated himself to being a bodybuilder, and considering that, his progress has been so insane, absolutely bonkers. So Tampa Pro is gonna have a very deep and a very diverse competition. So for the first time in Justin's career, he's working with a new coach, other than Matt Jensen. So let's see how this plays out. But I for one am very excited to see him back on the stage and see this comeback. So it is gonna be very interesting to see how the mutant Nick Walker and his new coach take this Olympia prep, their first Olympia together. Because with the way he just won the New York Pro this year, and the way he showed up at the Pittsburgh Pro, and the man did amazing against Derek Lunsford, we know he wants to add 4 to 5 pounds on his frame before the Olympia this year. And if Nick uses this time effectively, the rebound phase, and going by his pictures, it seems like the man is fully back on the diet. So he can definitely come in a little bigger for the Olympia this year and really fight for that Mr. Olympia title this year. So for a guy who has always been criticized for having a big waistline, those quarter turns, they look so insane on the mutant. And the way he beat Derek in a pose which we all thought was next to impossible to beat Derek in, the back double biceps. That was pure insanity. And that just changed the entire perspective for this upcoming Miss Olympia. So Nick 100% believes that Derek got a gift at this year's Pittsburgh Pro, and he beat him fair and square. And he's more worried about Samson Dauda and Hadi Chopin, since both these guys, they have their own unique strengths. Samson being a very aesthetic, very tall, and a very massive bodybuilder, and Hadi on the other hand, being one of the most conditioned and one of the most gnarly looking man. But that being said, what a great comeback story this has been by the mutant. And it's still going. So it's gonna be so amazing if Nick comes back to this year's Olympia stage and he places top 3. Because the fact is, he needs to knock out a one Mr. Olympia champion in order to accomplish that. Next up, we have the physique update from James Hollings head. So where has James been after this year's Detroit Pro? Well, the man has been grinding very hard to make some necessary improvements, to make some more adjustments. But that being said, I do not think that he's going to be returning to the stage before the Olympia in pursuit of his Olympia qualification. There were some more shows, which him and Stefan initially intended to do, like FIBA Germany and the Pittsburgh Pro. But as a veteran IFBB Pro, there wasn't any point entering those shows, since he already knew that there were minimal chances of him placing high in any of them, especially against all of these top guys, some of the best guys in the men's open right now. So the choice of shows by James Hollings at this year, I'm gonna say that wasn't ideal, because if the goal That is to get that Olympia qualification. Then there should be some kind of strategy on what show he's gonna go for. The fact is, he cannot beat a guy like William Bonac with some of those glaring weaknesses that we have seen on James. And the fact is, even though he did get big, but he was unable to take care of one of his biggest weaknesses, his shoulder-to-shoulder width. So the competition in those Olympia qualifiers, they just keep on getting better and better and more intense with every passing month. Just a few years ago, James had no difficulty whatsoever winning a show and qualifying for the Olympia. And that is why he made it to the Olympia stage twice. And he actually qualified 3 times. But even though he took almost 1 year off, but that still isn't helping him win any shows. So he's gonna be back on the stage, possibly with a better midsection, because that also hurt him big time, especially in Detroit. So Hassan Mustafa is not only looking very massive, but at the same time very lean for whatever show he's going for next. So I'm expecting him to jump into this upcoming Toronto Pro Show, and that makes him 10 weeks out. And considering that, that is a great shape and body fat composition for Hassan Mustafa, with almost 2.5 months to go. So when it comes to Hassan Mustafa, it is so easy to predict where he's gonna place. All of that depends on his condition. He has to be bang on target to win a show like Tampa Pro, because if we look back at the 2 competitions that he did last year, he was so far off that he was even unable to make into that first call out. He wasn't even top 5. And the fact is, he could have won both of them, or at the very least, fight for the title there, if he was in a solid condition. Because the thing is, Hassan has that kind of freaky muscle mass that he would have given a guy like Muhammad Fadha a very serious run for his money at Chicago Pro, if only he was in shape. And yes, I know Hassan doesn't have very good aesthetics. The waist that was originally very small back in 2019, that has gotten a lot wider over the years in pursuit of getting bigger. And that was a very big mistake that Hassan committed in the initial phase of his career. But that being said, he is one of the most muscular guy in the entire pro league. There was a reason the judges placed him 11th at his last Miss Olympia, despite the fact that he had a tricep tear. And credit must be given to Chad Nichols, his coach back in 2023. He did an awesome job with him, bringing Hassan big and full with decent enough conditioning. Now we have zero idea whom Hassan is working with as his coach for this year. But if he's peeled enough, he's gonna be a problem for everyone in whatever show he decides to enter. So only 4 more weeks left until we see an upgraded version of Behrooz Tabani back on the stage at Dubai Pro, where he's gonna try to defend his title. And just take a look at that abs and thigh shot. He has such a small waistline, deep abs, and those thick lats that give him a great advantage over the competition. So that right there is the waist that his coach Milos always talks about. So just like Hadi Chopin, one cannot imagine Behrooz Tabani coming in off, because the fact is the man has never been off. So his physique is 100% fresh. Since the last show that he did, that was also Dubai Pro, and that was 1 year back. Now he did a full contest prep for the Olympia last year, hoping to get his US visa. But unfortunately, he failed for the 3rd time, and that too consecutively. So Dubai Pro, that is what matters to him at this point the most, because he can make some big money doing that show. And all the experts in the industry, they have already admitted that Behrooz Tabani is a guy who is gonna shake up the first Olympia call-out whenever he gets to that Olympia stage. So Martin Fitzwater, he was top 4 last year at the Olympia, and Milos Salsev believes that Behrooz Tabani has more to offer on the stage than Martin. So by that logic, Behrooz Tabani can easily be in the top 5 at the Olympia this year. So William Bonac was 7th last year at the Olympia, and Behrooz beat him by quite some margin at Dubai Pro last year. So those aren't just claims about Behrooz Tabani by his coach. The man has proven himself. He legit is one of the best bodybuilder to come out of Iran after Hadi Chopin. And the man is definitely one of the best in the world. So who is gonna push Behrooz Tabani in Dubai Pro this year? That name is undoubtedly Nathan De Asha. Just take a look at that face of Nathan at 4 weeks out. That gives you a pretty good picture that he isn't messing around. And he's gonna bring superb condition, as the man is now on his way to Kuwait to finish this prep strong. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.